Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome back to another special episode of The Ways We Move. That's my microphone showing up all of a sudden out of nowhere. My name is Nicolas Zart, and I am your host on this podcast that highlights innovative mobility solutions and the people behind them. But today's special edition is about something I'm very excited about. You may or may not know that I've only gone to 0 shows this year in 2025, and it is already the last day of October, almost the 1st of November. And why is that? It's because, well, a lot of us have been feeling this sort of event burnout. And that's why we created the master classes that so far, the very first one has been a resounding success. But the only one I wanted to go to, not because I'm chairing the session, which of course is always nice, but it's because it's a very unique show, and it's called the eVTOL show. And this is the USA version of it. And it's backed by Ashley Barnes, who has done a really incredible job. So here's the reason why I'm excited about it, and I hope you will be able to attend the show. By the way, if you've made it this far, I still have some free tickets for free attendance, so reach out to me, drop a comment right here, and I will make sure that you can get there. And it's next week on November 6th. Yes, you heard it well. November 6th. It's a one-day event. It's unheard of in the industry. Ashley was able to do everything in one day, and it is solid packed. It's 12 hours of nonstop information. What I really like about it, short of being one day, which makes it very easy for all of us to travel, not as expensive as spending 2-3 days somewhere else, is that we start early, we end up early, but also we have that 52,000-foot view all the way down to the finer details of who will be there. And asked you who will be there, well, let me get over to that page again. It's pretty interesting. Of course, you'll get to hear from Joby will be there, EHang, Beta, Eve, John Air Mobility, Whisk. Our friends from Pivotal will be there too. Horizon Aircraft Air will be there too. But also then we start to go into the detailed solution-oriented companies that are working towards making these aircraft a possibility. And I'm thinking here of, a company I always love to hear is Hexcel, Lighten, Neograph. I mean, all of these guys work for very specific parts of the industries and make it happen. Oak Ridge National Laboratory will be there, so on and so forth. And then as far as I think the actual agenda is really the most interesting thing in the world. So we kick off at 8:40, and that's my presentation. It lasts about 20 minutes, and I talk about what's going on from a perspective of what happened in 2025. And a lot of things happened in 2025. I was actually chock full of information and a lot of things happening. It's just been a little bit quieter than it has been the last few years, which, by the way, is a good thing. After that, we will hear from Andy Krebs, who is the head of infrastructure at Joby Aviation, and he will be talking about accelerating commercial readiness at scale. And that will be interesting because usually we hear about Eric Allison, who couldn't be here this year. So it'll be good to hear from someone else at Joby. No, not to say that we don't want to hear from you, Eric, obviously. After that, it's going to be Airspace 3.0 optimization, advanced mobility. Operationalizing, boy, that's a tongue twister even for me. Operationalizing advanced air mobility in a digital managed sky. And this is from Sean Cassidy, who is a VP, Head of Regulation, Government Affairs. I'm assuming that I think is Whisk. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't have it right here under my nose. After that, we have Breaking the Limits, high energy density battery systems for next gen eVTOL performance. Now, this is one of the Achilles heel that we have right now is the energy density for aircraft. Mostly the power density for batteries is it's there, but we need to get up at the 500 kilowatt to above kilowatt hour and above to make these aircraft do everything that they're supposed to do. After that, we'll hear next generation structural paste adhesive. So you see how it really gets down to the finite details of these aircraft. And this is designed for rapid eVTOL assembly. And we'll hear from Casper Scherer, who is a doctorate and manager of production development at Henkel. absolutely fantastic to listen to that. And then from certification to commercialization. Now, this is a really interesting topic I can't wait to hear about. And this is going to be from Zhang Hong, Vice President of EHang. And it's going to be global lessons from China's first type certified eVTOL. And as you may or may not be aware of, China has launched what it coins the low altitude economy, which is a wonderful way of talking about advanced air mobility and how to integrate that into current airspace. After that, we'll have mission critical by design, so building eVTOL ready components that don't fail. Don't we all wish we had that? And this is going to be from Dan Brunlick, who is the founder and co-chairman at TPC. One thing that I'm really excited about it is, you've ever been to this event, is first of all, the location is great, and second of all, there's a courtyard that's big enough where we can actually have eVTOLs there. Yes, you heard me well. You will be able to go up to these eVTOLs and talk to the people behind it. So at 11 o'clock, we'll go outside and we'll have a few vehicle walk around and technical overview of the EHang EH216S, and that's their main one that they are flying all over the world right now. This will be followed by a model-based system engineering approach for designs and developments of drones and eVTOLs. And this is going to be interesting. This will be from Dr. Behnam Asharpaya, which of course I hope not to butcher because I'm going to have to present him, right? And this is from Dassault Systèmes, who he is a senior consultant, senior solution consultant over there. After that, we'll have sensor-driven structure and smart component, enabling high-performance electrified eVTOL systems. And this is going to be from Adrian Serna, who is a business development specialist at Adventech International. And by the way, we're only through the middle of the day. Can you believe it? We've already had that much, but you'll have way more. Advancing HIL and SIL validation for eVTOL from tip to battery to tail. I love that title. And that's going to be also from Adrian Serna, same thing and same company again. Beyond lithium ion, of course, this is something I've been in this industry for about a good 20 years now, and I've heard of all sorts of battery chemicals and different ways of making this lithium batteries. So this is going to be unlocking eVTOL range with lithium sulfur crystal batteries. This is a new one to me, so I'm very interested to see what the crystal replaces. And this is going to be from Dr. Ulrich Emmes, from the CEO of Theon. The industry mixer luncheon, of course, that's going to be our little break. After that, this is also another one I'm really looking forward to: ceramic solid state batteries for eVTOL. So a safer, higher performance energy system. And this is going to be from Jacob Matley, the founder and CEO of Vulcan Labs. I'm very excited about that one. High angle AFP for eVTOLs, OLI enabled head for complex, small scale aerostructures. And this is from Manu Motilva, Chief Growth Officer Machines at M-Torres. After that, we'll have, and we're getting almost towards the end here, flight cycle demands on battery performance, advanced materials and testing for eVTOL propulsion. Now, this is going to be by Elias Belaruak, head of electrification section of Oak Ridge National Laboratories. I always love listening to these guys because this is the true hardcore research, what's happening in the labs. It's not necessarily what we can have right now, but it's what's coming up within 2 to 5 years. After that, we'll have lithium metal batteries for eVTOLs, designing for hover power, turnaround time, and certification grade safety. Exactly everything that we want to hear. And this is from Dr. Chi Chao, who founder, chairman, and CEO at SES AI. After that, metal replacement for next generation battery enclosures. Are you starting to get the sensation now, that the feeling now that we need more metals for these batteries? You know, of course, we've known that for a long time. But this is composite and modular solutions for eVTOL platforms. And this is going to be done by Arash Jahangir, SVP Business Development of Airgo, followed by certifiable interconnects for high voltage eVTOL and AAM with Mike Guerra, Director of Engineering at Glenair. You may or may not know that obviously the higher the voltage, the more efficient a battery pack is, but also the higher you go in altitude, the more arcing or how electricity can go from one cable to another, from one component to another, which of course is disastrous. So this is going to be a very good talk on what they are doing to address this. This is followed by AI Bot, the eVTOL Showcase, a complete vehicle walk around of their aircraft, and after that, Powered Lift Light Sport Aircraft as proving ground for advanced air mobility. Chen Rosen, who is the CTO of Air. I'm looking forward to that because hey, Chen, need to have you on this podcast sooner than later. From model to mission, flight control, system ID, and autonomy, George Jacobellis, who is the head of flight sciences at AI Bot, thermal management in UAV and eVTOL batteries, preventing hot spots, extending life, enhancing safety. Brett Trimmer, application engineering manager at NeoGraph Solutions. Why is that important? Well, let me tell you why it's important. Because we hear a lot of companies saying that they will be flying in Abu Dhabi and everywhere around the Emirates, around Saudi Arabia. Well, the thing is, it cooks to about 140, sometimes even 150 Fahrenheit out there in the middle of summer. And if you need to hover with that kind of heat in an air-cooled aircraft, you're going to need some serious thermal management system. So right now, aircraft are air-cooled. We expect the next generation to have not a passive system, but a more active system. After that, we'll have redefining connectivity for next generation eVTOL platforms, and that's with Eric Weingartner, the Senior Management of Product Management at TE Connectivity. TE Connectivity is a very interesting company, which we'll get to interview them at some place or another. At 6:20, we'll have airspace integration for eVTOL operations, managing traffic complexity and scaling solutions. Then this is Pedro Macedo, aviation consulting at Lufthansa Consulting. Very excited to hear that. Scaling autonomous cargo eVTOL operations. Now we're going to talk about FAA progress, BVLOS expansion, and commercial application. This is from our good friend Manal Habib, who is the CEO and aerospace engineer at Mighty Fly, a wonderful drone company out there. At 5 I said 6 o'clock. It was 8 o'clock. No, it's 6 o'clock actually. Sorry. At 7 o'clock, we'll hear Vertiport engineering, safety, and ROI for real world AAM. This is going to be interesting. Clem Newton Brown, CEO at Skyports, and that's Skyports with a Z, and Justin Wiley, who's the strategy and development at UC Berkeley ITS. They recently worked together, so we'll be hearing from Down Under. For those of you who don't know, Skyports with a Z is from Australia. And after that, at 7:20, we'll hear from Next Gen Pilots, eVTOL user acceptance across diverse pilot demographics. And that's Anna Golingdukina, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And then finally, again, me, yours truly, Clear to Land, the closing discussion. That's going to be myself, of course, representing Electric Air Mobility, my company. And we really look forward to, I look forward to that because it's such an amazing show. Again, it's the only show I'm going to this year because it's fantastic. And I hope you will be able to come and meet us there. It's in Palo Alto, California. It's in a really wonderful setting, and it's one day only. So it's not expensive to actually do it. If you're from there, please come and see us. Come and talk to me. Drop me a line. Say you're interested in attending. And if you can make it out there, I highly encourage you to come and meet us over there. That's it for now. This was a special edition, and I hope you've enjoyed this. And I certainly hope and look forward to meeting you out there next week in Palo Alto, November 6th at the eVTOL Show USA. Again, please share, like, subscribe, tell us what you think, and we'll be very happy to talk to you. And maybe, who knows, you might be somebody who we can interview one day. Thank you all. See you next week.